Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to continue with freeCodeCamp's basic JavaScript curriculum. Okay, let's get started right away where we left off last time. So we're going to do an exercise about conditional logic with if statements. Okay, so this exercise asks us to create an if statement inside the function to return yes, that was true if the parameter was that true is true, and return no, that was false otherwise. Okay, so we're going to use the if conditional, and inside the parentheses true we want this variable, so this will contain true or false. If this is true, then this entire boolean expression is true. So if this is true, then we want to return okay. Now if that is not true, then you are going to use else. We want to return no, that was false. Okay, here return. Let's run this. Okay, great. Let's continue with the next one. Okay, comparison with the equality operator. Okay, so remember to compare two values, we need to use two equals. One equals is for assignment. We need to add an equality operator to the indicated line so that the function will return equal when val is equal to 12. Okay, so inside this boolean expression we will add equals equals 12. So this condition checks if the value is 12, then return equal. Let's run this. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to use the comparison with the strict equality. So strict equality is with three operators, three equal operators, and unlike the equality operator, which attempts to convert both values being compared to a common type. So for example, if we have 3 and the string 3, equal equal with only two equals, it will return true. But if we use triple equal, then we're going to check for strict equality, so they have to be the same type as well. So in this case, this is false. Okay, so in the second example, 3 is a number type, so we need to use the strict equality operator in the if statement to the function, which will return equal when the val is strictly equal to 7. Okay, pretty easy. Equal 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 to 7. Let's run this. Okay, perfect. Okay, now the compare equality function in the editor right here compares two values using the equality operator. We need to modify the function so that it returns equal only when the values are strictly equal. So we just add an equal here, so it's strict equality. Okay. Now we need to add the inequality operator in the if statement so that the function will return not equal when val is not equivalent to 99. Okay, so this means that val is not equal to 99. Let's run this. Perfect. Okay, now strict inequality. So as you can see from the examples here, 3 when compared with strict inequality to the string 3 is true because they are of different types. So we need to add strict inequality operator to the if statement so that the function will return not equal when val is not strictly equal to 17. Okay, to 17. Let's run this. Let's go. Okay, a comparison with a greater than. Okay, so we need to add the greater than operator to the indicated lines. so that the return statements make sense. So in this case, we need numbers which are over 100. So if val is larger than 100, so we need over 10 here, so bigger than 10, and this else condition here should cover that. So in this case, it's the same as if we had an else. So this will take care of all the numbers 10 or under. Let's run this. Okay, great. Now, greater than or equal to operator. We need to add the greater than or equal so that they make sense. So we want 20 or over. Okay, 10 or over. And that should do it. Okay, great. Now the less than operator. So this should be under 25, so smaller than 25, under than 55, and that should do it. Okay. Now comparison with the less than or equal to operator. We need to add the less than or equal operator right here. So we need smaller or equal than 12. So this should do it. And then smaller or equal to 24. Okay, great. Logical AND operator. So AND means that both conditions must be true. So in this case, if number is larger than 5 and number is smaller than 10. So we need only numbers between 5 and 10. We need to replace the two if statements here so that we are using the AND operator and will return yes if val is less than or equal to 50 and greater than or equal to 25. Okay, let's do this. Okay, this should be greater than or equal to 25, and we're going to use the AND operation. Sorry, I cannot find. Okay, and val needs to be smaller or equal to 50. And we can remove this. We only need this return here. Okay, that should do it. So we put both conditions here using the AND logical operator. Okay, that worked. Now the OR operator, of course, means that only one of the conditions of the two conditions can be true. So we need only one of the two conditions to be true for the whole Boolean expression to be true. So we need to combine two if statements into one, and it should return outside if value is not between 10 and 20 inclusive. Okay, so let's remove this one, we don't need it. So we need the value to be not between 10 and 20. So if val is smaller or equal to 10, because we want 10 and 20 inclusive, or val is smaller or bigger or equal to 20. Okay, let's run this. Okay, so if it's smaller than 10, okay, so I misinterpreted the inclusive part, so just leave it like this. Okay, perfect. Okay, now the else statement. So when we have conditional, we have a if conditional, then we can use the else statement, which means that it will be executed only if the if condition is not satisfied. So For example, if number is bigger than 10, then it will run this block of code and it won't go to this one. It will finish right here. But if it doesn't satisfy this condition, then it will run the else block of code. Pretty straightforward. So we need to combine the if statements into a single if else. Okay. So if value is bigger than 5, the result will be bigger than 5. And then we don't need to check for values smaller than equal to 5. We can just, the else should cover this. So I'm just putting else here. Okay, and that should do it. Okay. And now else if statements. So if we have multiple conditions that need to be addressed, we can chain if statements together with else and to make an else if statement. Okay, we need to change the logic here. So I'm going to make this an else if, and then we can put this inside an else. Okay, let's run this. Okay, perfect. Now, logical order in if-else statements. Okay, so as I said previously, when you have an if-else, then it checks for the if first, and if it fulfills this condition, then it doesn't go to check the other else ifs or the else. It just runs this. And so in the order that we have set up the conditionals here, that's the order then that the program will go and check. So we need to change the order of logic in the function so that it will return the correct statements in all cases. So the first condition here is if value is smaller than 10, then else if value is smaller than 5, and then we have an else greater than or equal to 10. Okay, so let's see if we have here a value should be smaller than 10. Okay, and then we are going to, so we should put smaller than 5 here. Okay, so why we do this is because numbers that are smaller than 5, so numbers that are smaller than, oh, okay, wait a second. Yeah, let's try to run this. Okay, perfect. So in this case, value smaller than 5 takes precedence. Okay. Let's continue with the next one. Chaining if-else statements. Okay. We need to write chained if-else if statements to fulfill the following conditions. If number is smaller than 5, return tiny. Else if number smaller than 10, return small. Okay. Let's copy this code. So let's copy this so it's easier. Okay. I'm going to put this inside parentheses. Okay. That's what we want here. And then else if. I'm going to put this condition. Return small. And let's close this. with an else if here. Close this again. Turn medium. Okay, else if again. And now we can use so for numbers bigger than or equal to 20, then we can use an else. Okay, so we don't need this. Return huge. Let's run this. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to okay, let's continue with the next one, golf code. So in this case we are simulating a game of golf where each hole has a par, meaning the average number of strokes, and the golfer is expected to make in order to sink the ball in a hole to complete the play. Okay, so we have this function with two variables, par and strokes, and depending on the number of strokes we need to return something. Okay, so we are doing this with if and else ifs. We need to check the number of strokes. If it's equal to 1, we should return hole in 1. Else if strokes is smaller or equal to par minus 2, return eagle. Okay, so that should be fairly straightforward. So let's do this. If strokes is equal to 1, then we should return hole in 1. Okay, and then else if strokes is smaller or equal than par minus 2, we should return eagle. Okay, turn eagle. Let's copy this else if so we can use it again. Let's just this part, wait. Okay. Okay, now we want strokes to be equal to par minus 1, and we need to return birdie. Okay, another else if. Okay, strokes should be equal to par. Okay, and we should return par. Okay, great. Let's continue with this one. Now strokes need to be equal to par plus 1. Okay, let's add this one. We need to return bogey. Okay, and let's copy this. Equal to par plus 2. And this should return double bogey. And this one can be included in an else statement. Else return go home. Okay, let's test this. Perfect. Let's continue with the next one. Now we need to select from many options with the switch statements. Okay, so switch statements are a bit like else if, but it's a better way to write them. So here is an example. So we are switching the lowercase letter and then case A is the same as if lowercase letter equals A. Okay, so we are just taking the case where the lowercase letter is equal to A. We need to write something similar with a switch statement which tests val and sets answer for the following condition. Okay, so this is first case, second case, third case. Okay, let's do this. So we need to switch the val case. Okay. Okay, so for case 1, we need to set the answer to be alpha. Okay. And then we can copy this so we don't have to write it down all the time. So we have 4 cases. Okay, for case 2 we want beta. For case 3 we want gamma and delta. Let's run this. Case in switch 1 should have a value. Let's try to console log to see what we are getting here. Of course, we are overriding the answer variable because we are not using break. That's what's happening here. Break, and we can copy this. Okay, so let's run this. Perfect. Okay. We need to add, in this case, a default option. So the default option will be if none of the cases above are fulfilled, then we can have a default value. Okay, so we need to do again a switch on val, switch on val, and then here we are going to have the cases. Let's copy this so we don't have to write it. Okay, maybe if you're just learning, it's better if you code everything yourself to get the hang of it, but in this case I'm just going for speed. Okay, so for case A we want here, and we want the answer to be apple. Answer to be apple. Okay, and for case B we want answer to be bird. For case C, let's make another case. For case C, we want it to be cat. And the default, we want the answer to be stuff. Not cat, stuff. Okay, let's run this. Perfect. Ask me later. Okay. Multiple identical options in switch statements. Okay, so if for all case 1, 2, 3 want the same result, we can write it like this. Okay, so we need to write a switch statement to set the answer for the following ranges: 1 to 3 low, 4 to 6 mid, 7 to 9 high. Okay, we need to have a case statement for each number. Let's copy this so it's easier. So for case 1 to 3, we want low. So answer needs to be low. Let's. I didn't write the switch. Switch val. Open this and close it right here. I indent this. Okay, so for case 1 to 3 we want low, and now let's cover the other cases. For cases 4, 5 and 6 we want to have a mid, and now for cases 7 to 8, 9, 7, 8 and 9 we want high. Okay, let's run this. So this should do it. Perfect. Now, how to replace if-else chains with switch? We need to change this using the switch. Okay, so we have this case Bob, case 42, case 1, 99, and 7. Okay, so we need to do a switch. Let's keep all of that right here. We need to do a switch on value. Let's open this, and now case Bob. Answer should be Marley, and a break. Okay, let's do the same for the other values. Case. Okay, this one for 42, this should be answer should be the answer. Okay, let's copy this a bunch of times. Only this part. So we have 42, 199, and 7. Okay. Oh, 1. Okay, for 42 we already did it. For value 1, this should be the answer. 1. For value 99, it should be this one. And for value 7. Now we can remove all of that and test it. Okay, perfect. This is the last one for today, and we'll continue in another video. So, returning Boolean values from functions. Okay. So when we do return a Boolean expression, it means that we are returning true or false. We need to fix the function here is less so that we remove the if-else statements. We need to return true if a is smaller than b, else return false. This can be written in one line. Return a is smaller than b. Let's run this. Okay, perfect. So guys, that's it for this video. The next video, the fourth one, I think will be the last for basic JavaScript, and then we will continue with the freeCodeCamp curriculum. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I want to reach 1,000 subscribers. Check out my Instagram, Twitter as well. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.